Hello, welcome to Astronautics for Exploits. This is Dr. Ayenshola Ogunile. Third space race, the 21st century space race 3.0, characterized by disruptive technologies. The focus points are as follows. Third space race, first versus second versus third space race, drivers of third space race, and third space race commercial space. For several years, space exploration has captured human imagination and has led to various technological advancements and innovations. The third space race, the current era of space exploration, known as Space Race 3.0, is characterized by reusable satellite launches, commercialization, and several private space companies' participations. It involves an increase in collaboration, more than as in the previous first and second space races, and development of novel deep space missions. In this Space Race 3.0, there's an increase in test flights of new rockets and privately sponsored probes sent to the moon. In addition to the traditional spacefaring nations, several countries have space programs and are developing satellites and rockets. Multiple satellite constellations are being planned and deployed during this third space race. Examples are SpaceX Starlink constellation, Eutelsat's OneWeb planet satellites, and Blue Origin Kuiper constellation, with the goal to increase global broadband access by providing fast and affordable internet. Third space race. Space Race 3.0 is a race characterized by increase in commercial space ventures, with diverse actors like private companies playing a leading role in innovation and space access. Space tourism and resource utilization, making all sectors, civil, scientific, commercial, and national security, more interdependent than ever before. The picture here shows an astronaut on the moon. Introduction of larger and reusable launch vehicles such as SpaceX Starship and Blue Origin's New Glenn is leading to disruptive changes in the third space race. According to market projections, satellite launch rate is projected to be high in the future, and this is driven by the deployment of highly proliferated commercial constellations such as Starlink and Amazon's Kuiper. Artist impression showing Rosetta over Comet 67P is shown in this picture. First versus second versus third space race. First space race, Space Race 1.0, occurred between 1957 and 1990. It was characterized by government-led space exploration and a strong Cold War between the United States and USSR. It focused on national security, military, and scientific advancements. An artist's impression of Earth-like exoplanet Kepler 186f is illustrated in this picture. Second space race, Space Race 2.0, occurred between 1991 and 2015. It was characterized by a shift from government dominance towards privatization, with more commercial involvement in space activities. It increased private company involvement, with companies such as Abru Sciences Corporation taking the lead in developing launch vehicles. US, China, Russia, India, and a host of other countries actively participated in the second space race. Astronauts pictured during the final Hubble servicing mission are shown in this picture. Third space race, Space Race 3.0, is occurring from 2016 up to present. It is defined by a significant increase in commercial space ventures and space tourism. It focuses on space tourism and resource utilization. Private companies such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are driving innovation and space access, with a significant role in space tourism and commercial ventures. US, China, Russia, and India, and a host of others are actively participating in the second space race. The picture here shows Virgin Galactic suborbital space tourism vehicle. Drivers of third space race are space launch, satellites, space debris, commercial space resources extraction, interdependence, and competition. One of the drivers of the third space age is the increase in space launch activity. As a new generation of heavy and super-heavy launch vehicles become operational, a range of new opportunities are being created for government and companies to exploit. SpaceX rocket carrying NASA's Mars 2020 Perseverance rover is illustrated in this picture. The divergent launch rate trends among nations is a manifestation of shifts in launch activity among the world's spaceports. Further disruptions in the launch market are on the horizon. The demand for launch is projected to be on the high rise. The new generation of heavy and super heavy launchers could drive effective launch capacity. The picture here illustrates suborbital space tourism by Blue Origin. Satellite is another driver of the third space race. One of the most notable trends in the third space age is the rapid increase in satellites being launched. In 2023, findings shows that a total of 2,870 satellites were launched globally, which is more than 20 times the average number of satellites launched each year in the first and second space ages. Recent years have also witnessed a shift in the types of satellite launch and the orbits they occupy. The picture here illustrates SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launching Polaris drone mission to low Earth orbit on September 10, 2024. Commercial satellites. The surge of commercial satellites in recent years has also reshaped the space industrial base and the general appetite for investment in the space sector. According to research firms Space Capital, from 2016 to 2023, angel investors, venture capital firms, corporate investors, and others provided about $222 billion in funding for companies in the space market satellite sector, $89 billion of which was invested in about 687 U.S. companies. Starlink satellites tagged together before deployment on 24 May 2019 is illustrated in this picture. Space debris is another driver. Space debris is a growing issue that affects all satellite operators and all orbits. Many of the largest contributors to space debris are destructive and the satellites. There are non-operational satellites and rocket bodies that are left in orbit. Some space debris are large enough to be tracked and cataloged. Many smaller pieces of debris are in orbit, and they can cause severe damage to satellites and crew spacecraft. International Space Station is illustrated in this picture. Third space race commodity space. The commercial space market, also known as the private space industry or new space market, is growing rapidly. Commercial satellites comprise 84% of all satellites launched in the third space age, and market projections indicate that the satellite launch rate will remain high for the foreseeable future, driven by the deployment of highly proliferated commercial constellations such as Starlink and Amazon's Kuiper. An artist's conception of a mining settlement on the double asteroid 90 Antiope is illustrated in this picture. The commercial spaceflight sector primarily generates revenue by launching satellites into Earth's orbit, facilitated by providers deploying satellites into low Earth orbit and geostationary Earth orbit. The first commercial use of satellites, the Star 1 satellite launched in 1962, was the first privately sponsored space launch funded by AT&T and Bell Telephone Laboratories. Concept of trans-astral walk-a-bee craft on its first asteroid mining flight mission is illustrated in this picture. The commercial satellite industry revenue in 2023 was about $285 billion, a 2% increase from the previous year. This growth was stronger than the global economic overall growth rate. The satellite industry is expected to continue to grow, with projections anticipating growth to over $25 billion by 2022. Astronauts from different countries on board the space station is illustrated in this picture. For more information, contact Astronautics for Experts. You've been watching and listening to Third Space Race, the 21st Century Space Race 3.0, characterized by disruptive technologies. With the focus points, Third Space Race. First versus second versus third space race, drivers of third space race, and third space race commercial space. Thank you.